Alright, I'm back with another Destiny 2 video, and today was going to be my quarterly blues rant where I don't even know how many videos I've made, how many articles I've made about the Scourge of Blues at this point, but it has come up again because this event, Solstice, makes you run every activity like all around the thing, like the entire map, in terms of completing all these quests, and I have not even activated this yet on my Titan because I'm not doing my alts. But you have to go to pretty much every activity in the game, including like Altars of Sorrow and Dares of Eternity and like Running Strikes, and you will just amass so many freaking blues that you'll have to go back to the tower every couple activities just so you don't lose everything out of your postmaster, which now not only includes stacks of Ascendant Shards but also Ascendant Alloy. Lots of stuff like that. So plenty to rant about there, but I might save that for another day because I wanted to talk about the secondary inventory problem that I see right now, which is this 10 out of 10 Engram system, which has existed for a very long time, but has gotten progressively worse over time to the point where I don't know why they're not really kind of making some fundamental changes to it, because it really contributes to a lot of stuff going to your postmaster as well. The problem is that way too many things go into here. We have bright engrams, which you get from leveling up the season pass, so you will get items from that. And then you have, as you can see here, prime engrams, which are they drop periodically, and those are power boosts, and they can have somewhat higher stats, although I think that got nerfed. But you will get those frequently just from playing anything, and those are not legendaries that go in your inventory. They are engrams that go here that you have to decrypt at Rahul, and that's it. The same thing for umbral engrams. Ever since the umbral system came into existence, we now have to load up on these. Usually my thing is majority umbrals because those drop even more commonly than prime engrams. You either have to focus these at one of the helm vendors, or you have to just turn them into Rahul like they're normal engrams. And then in addition to that, we now have specialized engrams per vendor. So there are gambit engrams that you use to, they will give you gambit gear if you turn them into Rahul, but you can also use them to focus for specific loot here. You need a gambit engram in your inventory to do this. This is also how trials engrams work. We don't know if they are about to expand this to Crucible and the Vanguard as well for themed engrams there, and I think Iron Banner has this too. I can't remember if they gave us official Iron engrams or not. I think they did, so that is in there too. No, I didn't really play that much Iron Banner this season, just a couple of days the first time. And all of this adds up to a point where once this is full, not only can you not get additional copies of these, so all stuff like this will go to your postmaster, whether it's umbrals or primes, or you like literally just cannot pick up the engrams from the vendors here. And that will also, in addition to that, you cannot pick up any legendary engram that drops in the wild, because for whatever reason, unless you have one spot open, it will not let you even add something to your normal inventory. Like, you cannot pick up something there, even if you have an empty slot, if this is full. And so that pushes even more stuff to the postmaster, where you will go to your postmaster and see a bunch of unrevealed legendary engrams. My suggestion here is just changing a whole lot about the way all of these engrams work. I know that Destiny engram coding is a pretty complicated process that I don't fully understand, and this is one of those, like, this is probably easier than it sounds kind of things, but this is how I wish the behavior acted. I mean, the obvious solution is, okay, give us 20 instead of 10, but I don't know if that would really solve the issue necessarily. Here's how I wish it worked. Starting with bright engrams, which I don't have any right now, I think you can replace the entire concept of a bright engram with just something that goes in here, like a gift from the Dawning or something, where it is a stackable consumable item where you would hold down F or whatever, and it would open it and give you the dust or the ornament or whatever it is. Don't make it an engram, just make it something that goes in here. And like, I know this is pretty crowded, but it's sure a lot less crowded than this. So I don't see a reason for bright engrams to exist at all. At the very least, like, at least we can turn those in on the store page itself from anywhere, which is better than most of these other ones, but I don't see a reason it can't just be like a gift package or something instead of an engram. Prime engrams. just decrypt those automatically. Like you can see you're picking up a prime engram when you like roll over. It is a glowing version of a legendary engram. It is very obviously different. You can pick it up. It'll instantly decrypt like a normal legendary engram, and then you can just see what it is and then infuse it if you need to. I would take that and maybe the off chance on missing a prime by not looking at the number sometimes, with the ability to clear all of this out. In terms of the Gambit and Trials and Iron Banner, whatever engrams, I wish they would develop a system where it skips this entire need to put them in your inventory at all. I wish that once you were full, these 19 Gambit engrams, thank you Solstice for that, you could just instantly go back and forth here. So you would have, instead of 3 that I'm holding, you would have 19. And if I wanted to focus something, I would just click on it here and be done with it. I would not need this transfer process and clean slots to, I'm going to have to empty my entire inventory of engrams to do this twice to decrypt all these. Like, it's absurd. And then have one that's just a free focus where it just decrypts into a random thing like you were returning it to Rahul. And the same for Trials, the same for Iron Banner or any of these other ones. Because if we're about to have vendor engrams from like literally every, type of vendor we have, that is going to get really overwhelming really quickly. I also think that I don't know what is causing the system where if you have this full, you cannot even pick up a legendary engram, or I don't even think you can pick up enhancement cores and things like that because it's technically an engram drop. I wish they would code that differently, and if you have free spots in your inventory, you should be able to pick up any legendary engram, even if your 10 out of 10 thing here is full. That leaves Umbral engrams, and I guess those can stay. Like, if all of these other things have an easier way to clear out, and we're not half taken up by primes and vendor engrams and stuff, I guess this is where the Umbral engrams live. I do think there is probably some sort of stackable system you could create where, again, it's either in here or these can stack within themselves, like to not just have 10 here. I also believe that if you click on this, you should just be able to decrypt it just to get it out of your inventory, because you can delete it, but you can't decrypt it because that is only Rahul's job for some reason. I wish there was a way to quickly clear these out without just, deleting them entirely, and we're having to fly back and go to Rahul. Keeping them for focusing, I get, you can take them to the helm pretty easily and focus them there, but the problem is cramming all of this different stuff into just 10 slots here is absurd, and it's only getting worse in time. It is not as bad as Blues, considering that takes up your whole inventory, takes up your whole postmaster, very quickly, but this is definitely contributing to the clutter problem, both here, but also in your postmaster, and I would say at any given time, probably half the stuff in my postmaster is due to this being full. So I wish they would implement a better system here using maybe some of the things I just said, but again, engram coding is complicated, I imagine, and I just wish it was something that they would focus on, because if you play the game, clearly this is a problem that comes up pretty frequently. So anyway, I will get to Blues later when I have a day where there's nothing else going on, because that's its own thing entirely. But anyway, thanks for watching, and I will talk to you soon. Take care.